Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone, for teaching this truth according to the Bible. Sincere shalom to Brother Akim, pushing this truth with all sincerity as the scriptures tell us to do so. And today I'm just going to comment on one of Elder Apostle Gabar's latest videos, and it was titled Fat and Sloppy. No excuse in GMS. Change your diet, employ bodily exercise. Okay, and before I start, you know, hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm a little under the weather right now. A little bit of a cold going on, but it's nothing too serious. So, uh, yeah, this is something that, before I was even in the truth, okay, uh, I spent a lot of time in my life physically training. Okay, I was an athlete all my life. Okay, and being physically fit and physically strong is something that every man should take pride in. Okay, see, as men, okay, especially as Israelite men, we have been led down a path of destruction, okay, by the society. Okay, most of our communities are full of people that are overweight, obese, sick, and have no self control or self discipline. And I've always prided myself on being the opposite of that. Okay, so, you know, Elder Pascal Bar, harps on the importance of exercise, especially exercise. Okay, you know, there's a lot of things. Okay, there's a lot of ailments. There's a lot of problems in life that can be mitigated. Okay, by exercise. All right, and as the scriptures say, all right, exercise profiteth little, but like every brother always says, it does profit. All right, and as men, we should be in shape at all times. Now, we understand that we're under the curses. Yes, we understand that. We understand that we're in Babylon the Great. We're in captivity. Okay. But there's still no excuse. Staying in shape, okay, really, if you think about it, doesn't take all that much, uh, especially if you're at a beginner level. All right. Now, you don't have to be Hercules. All right. You know, before I was in the truth, the gym, okay, was where I lived at. It was my home. All right. You know, there's brothers, plenty of brothers that were before they were in the truth and even still in the truth. Okay. The gym is one of their places where they spend a lot of time. Okay. I was, deadlifting 500, 600 pounds. Okay. Bench pressing 300, 400 pounds. All right. And this is, not something that we understand that we don't rely on carnal strength or abilities to do anything carnally. Okay, we understand that our power lies in the spirit. However, as soldiers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, there is no excuse for us not to be physically fit and strong and in shape as men. Now, every brother is not going to be able to do, the same as other brothers. Okay. However, every brother can do their part. Every brother can do their best to stay in good shape. And like the elder says, just going out for walks is a major boost to your health. Okay, just going for walks. All right. Now, I do have scriptures pulled up, and I wanna listen first to what Elder Pascal Bar is saying in this lesson because this is important. All right, we're coming into the time of Jacob's trouble where you don't know what situation the Heavenly Father Yahweh through His only begotten Son Yahweh Shai is going to have you in. You may have to run. You may have to fight physically. You may have to defend yourself, your family. All right, and you don't know what the situations are going to be. All right. And like the brother from Kansas City said, you should always be war ready. And that's something I agree with 100%. I've always lived my life like that. I know personally that I would have no problems defending myself. As a matter of fact, I feel sorry for the soul, okay, that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai sends to me if that's the case, that if that's his will, Okay, for me to let's just say it this way, if Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai wants me to bestow judgment on an individual in that manner, okay, you know, but we understand that we're going to be in all different type of situations, okay. We're not going to be able to fight our way out. We're not going to be able to run our way out. We're not going to be able to survival skill our way out. But understand this: being strong and being in shape is definitely going to be an advantage, okay, in Jacob's trouble. Like they say, survival of the fittest. Now let's listen to what Elder Apostle Gabar has to say, all right, and then we'll grab these scriptures, and this won't be a long video at all. So let's listen.
So you shouldn't be eating processed foods. You should know what processed foods are. Bone up in the knowledge, man. The knowledge is out there. Reach out and grab it. And then most of all, apply it for your health. We're talking about your health here. Shouldn't be no big, fat, nasty, sloppy brother in GMS, man. Shouldn't be, okay? But we do have them, all right? Get out there and do your walk, man. There's a video called Walking, the Superpower You Never Knew You Had. Walking will transform your life. You kidding me? It did it for me. You know, I was, not too long ago, I was, what, 300 pounds almost. All right? As you can clearly see, I'm slimming down, okay, a lot. And then you know, start doing your which I'm gonna get into, your push-ups and sit-ups and all of that, man. And then
And that's something that he said he should, not only walking but doing push-ups and sit-ups. These are simple exercises that you can do that will greatly benefit your strength, okay, and your overall health. All right, get out on the floor and do some push-ups, man. I remember as a little kid, I would be 6 years old, okay, in my room. All right, I would be up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning doing push-ups, sit-ups, air squats, body weight squats, okay, planks. All right, the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai just had that spirit on me from knee high. I've always been the type to take my physical training seriously. Okay, and my parents used to have to come into my room and tell me to go to sleep. Okay, because I'd be in there doing push-ups. All right. Now, I'm a big believer when it comes to men, okay, and being strong. Okay, I believe men should be strong. I don't believe there should be anything. There should not be any weak men. There should not be any weak members, okay, of this truth if you're sincere in it. Okay. Now we understand not every brother is going to be a Hercules. We understand that. But what is your level of strength that you can attain? What is your level of fitness that you can attain? Okay, it's time to start taking this serious because in Jacob's trouble, you don't want to be a liability. Okay, you don't want to be a liability when shit hits the fan and like it says in 2nd Ezra 15, okay, they shall spoil their neighbors with the sword, okay, for the lack of bread, okay, their course of their actions shall stand in their power because of the lack of bread, right? Because they're not going to regard their princes, okay, nor their kings, all right. So when the lights go out, hey, you cannot be a liability to yourself, to a brother, okay, to your family. You should at least be strong, okay, as a man. All right. Now let me get a scripture. Classic 1 Timothy 4:8. It says, "For bodily exercise profiteth little, but godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise of the life that now is, and of that which is to come." See, body exercise profiteth little, but it does profit. Okay, we want to take advantage of all aspects of this truth. But it also says that godliness is profitable unto all. So, you know, taking this truth seriously, understanding the prophecies, okay, staying in prayer, being charitable, okay, and doing your part for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and showing Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai that you are one of his, okay, that is what's going to save you, okay, being part of the elect, putting on the elect, okay, and as well, you know, take advantage of the time that we have to get in shape. All right, let's get another one. Daniel 1 and 8. All right, like the elder said, we got to be aware. Okay, we got to be aware of what we're eating, right? Because that's a big problem. All right, we're in America where everything is defiled. The Lord said we would eat our bread defiled among the heathen. Okay, actually, let me get it in the blue letter since it don't want to come up. But we'll go to Daniel. Okay, Daniel chapter 1, verse 8. It says, but Daniel proposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with a portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank before the request of the prince of the eunuchs, that he might not defile himself. Okay, so Daniel was, the king wanted the children of Israel to eat of his meat, the king's meat, which the king's meat are full of fats, fried foods, and things that are not really good for you because he's the king. He can splurge, he can indulge in the finer foods, which tend to be not as good for you. Okay, but what did Daniel wanted? They wanted to eat pulse, okay, which is vegetables and water. Okay. Verse 10 says, and the prince of the eunuchs said unto Daniel, I fear my lord the king, who hath appointed you meat and your drink. For why should he see your faces worse liking than the children which are of your sort? Then shall ye make me endanger my head to the king. Okay, because he was worried that Daniel was going to look skinny and weak. Okay, but this is the importance of your diet. Okay, Daniel refused to eat the king's meat. Okay, you got to have that self-discipline to know what you should and should not be eating, like the elder said. Okay, Slakia, I got to pull it back up.
Shalom. First thing.
Slakia, y'all. This is let me get it. So let's listen to what the elder says one more time here. If I can get it to play, y'all. Bear with me for a second. Well, if it doesn't play, I'm going to go right back to the scriptures. All right. So hopefully it'll load up real quick. But we'll go here. We'll do this. All right. We'll get my next scripture. All right. Proverbs 23 and 1. This is a good one. When thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee. Okay. Because like it said with Daniel, he didn't want to eat the king's meat. Okay. What's the next verse say? And put a knife to thy throat if thou be a man given to appetite. You shouldn't be indulging yourself in stuffing your face with cakes and pastries and fried foods and all that. You got to stay in shape, man. This is about discipline. All right. And one of my favorite verses in the Bible, 2 Timothy 2 and 3, it says, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Right. We're supposed to endure hardness as soldiers. Okay. And every soldier, right? If we're in the army, okay, one of the biggest things when you go into the army is your physical fitness, your training. Okay. If we're going to call ourselves soldiers, we should act like soldiers. We should train like soldiers. We should think like soldiers, warriors. Okay. This is wartime here. Okay. This entire Bible is about war. Okay. And if we're going to be sloppy, like the elder said, okay, how can we consider ourselves warriors?
Go, I was what, 300 pounds almost. All right, as you can clearly see, I'm slimming down. Okay, a lot. And then start doing your which I'm gonna get into, your push-ups and sit-ups and all of that, man. And then you for your age, you get a nice tight frame, be able to take care of yourself if you need to, you know what I'm talking about, and take care of a woman. Okay, put it on that woman, because you got the energy. Because why? You eating right, you exercising, you're doing what you got to do. That's just common sense. That's the message of this video. That's just common sense. Shouldn't be no fat.
And all the scriptures I brought out highlight that. Okay, you should be disciplined enough to know that your physical health is very important. All right, we understand we're under the curses, we understand we're in captivity, but guess what? That's just an excuse, man. There is no excuse. Get in shape, become strong, be able to defend yourself. Don't be a liability, and show you how about Shimmy Shai that you have the discipline enough to take care of your own body that he gave you. Okay? As well as your mind. Never forget your mind, which is what this really is all about, the spirit. Okay? But both aspects are very important.
Lazy, sloppy, fat, nasty. You know, we're always getting on the nigger woman, how morbidly obese she is. All right? What about you men? What excuse do you have? All right, get out there, man. I'm going to be 60 this year. 60. 6-0. And I damn sure don't feel like it. All right, why? Because I've drastically changed my diet and I believe in the exercising. Like earlier today, I really didn't feel like.
I believe in exercise as well. Okay? Second Timothy 2:4. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that ye may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. Okay, we're not worried about the things of this life. We're not worried about going out and partying. We're not worried about the things that the 2/3 are worried about. Okay, so really what we should be worried about is this truth, first and foremost. Okay, go to work, pay your bills, do what you got to do the work of Yahweh Shem Shai, and train, stay physically in shape. That's really simple, okay? Take care of your business, all right? This is something that I'm passionate about, man. You know, staying in shape because it really is a symbol, okay? If you see a man that's in shape, it's really a symbol of his discipline. It's a symbol of his mind. It's an indicator of where his mind is at, a physically fit individual, okay? Now, we understand we got brothers that really aren't in shape, but guess what? They can do better. Okay, guess what? We gotta, just tell it like it is, man. Just like the elders bringing it out.
Like walking, let me take a day off. And the other part of my mind said, man, fuck taking a day off. Get your ass out there and at least do 3 miles. And once I started doing the walk, I started getting into it. I said, man, fuck this. I'm gonna do more than 3 miles. I could have did 6 miles if I wanted to, and just keep on going, because I felt that energy kicked in, and I'm liking the way I'm starting to look. All right, that also fuels me too. That'll fuel you brothers. You brothers that.
Yep, and that's something that's important too is the cardio, walking, running, riding a bike. I ride a bike every day. Okay, I ride a bike to and from work every day. Okay, I'm getting at least 10 miles a day on a bike. All right, so you should be physically strong and cardiovascularly strong, if that's a word. Okay, but anyway, you know, so I don't want to harp on this too long, but you get the point. All right. This is just something that we should automatically be doing as men of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. So take heed to the elder and apply this to your life. All right. So with that, I'll close out and give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth according to the Bible. We'll say Shalom and a Bible.